What would you do if the person who vowed to love you like family turned your trust into a weapon? Lila stood at the edge of the family's sprawling estate, the autumn leaves crunching beneath her boots. The air was crisp, carrying the scent of pine and the weight of unspoken promises. She'd always loved this place, the old oak tree where she and her husband, Mark, had carved their initials, the garden where their daughter, Sophie, chased fireflies. It was supposed to be her sanctuary, a home where love and loyalty thrived. But today, it felt like a battlefield, and the enemy wasn't a stranger, it was her mother-in-law, Evelyn. 2 years ago, Lila had married Mark, a kind-hearted man with a laugh that could light up a room. Their wedding was simple, a small ceremony under that same oak tree, with Evelyn beaming proudly at her son. Lila had been so hopeful then, eager to build a life with Mark and blend into his family. Evelyn had welcomed her warmly, calling her the daughter I never had. But warmth, Lila learned, could hide sharp edges. It started with small things. Evelyn would drop hints about the family's wealth, mentioning the estate's value or the antiques she'd inherited. Family is everything, she'd say, her smile tight, and we protect what's ours. Lila nodded along, assuming it was just pride. She didn't come from money, her parents were teachers who valued hard work over luxury, but she'd built a modest career as a graphic designer. She never asked for handouts, never expected them. Yet, Evelyn's comments grew pointed. "You're lucky to be part of this family," she'd say, her eyes lingering on Lila's simple clothes. The tension boiled over 6 months ago when Mark's father passed away. The will left the estate to Mark, with a clause that Lila would co-own it if they remained married for 5 years. Evelyn was furious. "It's family property," she snapped at Lila during heated dinner. "You didn't earn it. Don't get greedy." Lila was stunned. She'd never asked for the esteteshed, only wanted a home for Sophie. But Evelyn's words stung, planting doubts. Was she seen as an outsider? A gold digger? Mark tried to mediate, but Evelyn's accusations escalated. She'd call Lila at odd hours, urging her to think of family and sign over her potential share. "It's for Sophie's future," Evelyn insisted, her voice syrupy but sharp. Lila refused, not out of greed, but because she wanted to honor Mark's father's wishes. She loved Mark, and the estate was his legacy, not a prize to be bartered. Then came the twist Lila never saw coming. One rainy afternoon, Sophie ran into the house, clutching a crumpled letter. "Grandma gave me this," she said, her small voice trembling. Lila unfolded it, her heart sinking. It was a legal document drafted by Evelyn's lawyer, claiming Lila was unfit to co-own the estate due to financial irresponsibility. The evidence? A fabricated list of debts Lila had never incurred. Evelyn had gone through Lila's trash, pieced together old receipts, and spun a story of reckless spending. Lila's hands shook as she read the lies. This wasn't just about money, it was betrayal. But the real shock was Sophie's teacher, Ms. Clara, who appeared the next day. Clara was a quiet woman, always kind to Sophie, but she'd overheard Evelyn boasting at a community event about teaching Lila a lesson. Clara, risking her job, had recorded the conversation. Evelyn said she'd do anything to keep the estate in her control, Clara whispered, handing Lila a USB drive. I couldn't stay silent. Lila listened to the recording, her chest tightening as Evelyn's voice sneered. "She's greedy, but I'll protect what's mine." The hypocrisy burned Evelyn. Accusing Lila of greed was the one scheming to hoard the family's legacy. Lila confronted Evelyn that evening, the USB drive in her pocket. The dining room felt suffocating, the chandelier casting jagged shadows. Mark sat beside her, his face pale. Evelyn, poised as ever, sipped her wine. "What's this about, dear?" she asked, her tone mocking. Lila didn't flinch. She played the recording, letting Evelyn's own words fill the room. The silence that followed was deafening. Evelyn's face crumpled, but not with remorse. "You don't understand," she spat. "This family's legacy is bigger than you. I was protecting it." Lila's voice was steady, though her heart raced. "You call me greedy, Evelyn, but you lied to control what wasn't yours. You betrayed your own son." Mark's eyes widened, his loyalty torn. Sophie, listening from the hallway, ran to Lila, clinging to her. The aftermath was raw. Mark, devastated, asked Evelyn to leave the estate. She refused at first, claiming her rights as his mother. But the recording was undeniable. The family's lawyer, once Evelyn's ally, sided with Lila after hearing the truth. Evelyn moved to a condo in town, her pride shattered. The community whispered her reputation, built on years of charity galas and church speeches, crumbled. Lila didn't gloat. She felt no victory, only grief for the family she'd hoped to have. But there was hope in the ruins. Miss Clara became an unexpected friend, helping Sophie process the betrayal through art projects at school. Mark and Lila grew closer, rebuilding trust under the oak tree where it all began. They decided to turn part of the estate into a community garden, a place for families to grow together, not apart. Sophie planted the first seeds, her laughter echoing as fireflies danced. Lila learned a hard truth. Family isn't just blood, it's the people who choose honesty over control, love over greed. Evelyn's downfall wasn't the loss of the estate. It was the respect she'd squandered. Lila stood taller now, not because she'd won, but because she'd fought for what was right. And as the sun set over the garden, she knew she'd given Sophie something Evelyn never could, a legacy of integrity.